the UH-90 Ibis. I'm sorry if you were expecting a grand opening. Unfortunately, every single Ibis that was supposed to appear in this intro got shot down on the way to this beach. That's just the reality of 21st century warfare. Let's start off with something familiar. The airstrip at South Pascali General Aviation gives us a nice reach to some key targets, like the R9 launch site just down the road. Except I'm not going to the R9 launch site. If we take a small stroll across the pond, we can ambush the Dust Bowl highway strip and decimate enemy capabilities very early. We take our Special Forces Commando squad along for the ride. We're not going to just destroy the enemy airbase, but capture it in a stunning blitzkrieg. This won't be as easy as it sounds, though. There are numerous IR SAM defenses between us and our target, and since the last update, their effective range has been doubled to a range of 10 kilometers. For this purpose, I have equipped the linchpin rocket pods. What used to be my go-to air-to-ground weapon has been severely nerfed ever since it requires laser locking. However, they will prove useful to saturate SAM launcher defenses. Perhaps this is a good time to learn about the Ibis control mechanics. The propellers and the fans are controlled separately, but they can sap power from each other to achieve the highest top speed, keep the collective as low as possible, 50% or even lower, to give the fans maximum power. In this moment, I have not yet spotted the SAM launcher, nor has my missile approach system warned me, but I can visually spot a missile launch coming for me. I keep my cool and use my flares conservatively. There are 3 launchers locked onto me. The 2 on my sides I plan on ignoring, but the one on top of the hill has to go. I fire a handful of rockets and fly high to keep the launcher in sight. The laser lock is indicated by the red markers. If I lose my line of sight, my rockets will miss their target. Successful hit, now I can enter this defilade and slow down. The Ibis is a fantastic platform. It can cover distances fast thanks to its design, capable of reaching almost 500 kilometers per hour, then slow down and hover in a safe spot. I have previously configured my targeting computer to prevent locking of unwanted targets. This is a generally useful tool that I forget to use quite too often. I'm going to focus all my firepower on the helipads and aircraft revetments. I fire off my salvo and take out all my targets, effectively disabling all aircraft spawns on Dust Bowl. I use my remaining linchpins to take out the aerosentry while calmly flaring off IR attacks. My victory is short-lived as I encounter the helicopter's greatest foe, the Vortex Ring State. I do have to constantly wrestle with VRS, which is a big skill issue on my part. I occasionally test the structural integrity of the Ibis by slamming into the ground really hard. The UH-90 is built very sturdy, 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, I encounter the helicopter's second greatest foe, the AGM-48. I receive an optical warning. I evade the missile lock by hiding behind terrain. But while you receive an optical warning for your first lock, you will not be notified when the missile reacquires. Not discouraged by my partial success, I respawn at Maris Heliport and make my way back to Dust Bowl. With the enemy presence greatly diminished, I just have to take care of the few remaining ground units. Easier said than done. None of the gun mounts on the Ibis are particularly accurate at long ranges, so I have to get close and personal, all the while attempting some evasive maneuvers, making the job of my gunners even more difficult. A quick strafe from this IFV deals serious damage to my helicopter. The auto cannons and the side guns really should be reserved for fighting units that can't fight back. Once clear, I descend on the highway and quickly capture it, way ahead of any friendly ground units. Unfortunately, we can't be at all places at once, so the situation at South Boscali has deteriorated rapidly. The enemy convoy has encroached the airfield in great numbers. However, the Ibis has another ace up its sleeve. The UGV drones are funny little guys that you can drop off anywhere you want, and they operate with some independence. I figured I could airdrop one behind enemy lines, and it could take care of the R9 launcher site on its own. The reality is, in their current state, these drones are quite dumb. They have no self-preservation instincts, and their off-roading skills are questionable. That's why the smart way to use them is to spawn 1 million of them and just leave them next to the ammo truck. Truly a magnificent strategy that is in no way abusing early access game mechanics or could possibly lag a live server while you're doing it. I noticed people have been confused whether I use my real voice for these videos, and the answer is
no. Hi, this is the LV2 and this is my real voice. My living situation is not ideal for voice recording. I live next to an active train yard, so there's like constant noises coming from there. I also live next to an active airfield, so there's even more noise from that. I can only afford this old Xbox Live mic that I have laying around. I also have a dog. He only barks when I press the record button. I think it's a coincidence, but I'm not certain. All jokes aside, I use a text-to-speech app called ElevenLabs that's powered with AI magic. I do have to sincerely apologize to anyone who feels they've been cheated or tricked into listening to AI slop, but I want to emphasize that the text-to-speech is the only AI tool that I use. I record all my gameplay, I write down the entire script, I make my own jokes. I don't feed a video into some AI algorithm and it spits out content. I'm not here to make sleepy nuclear option videos. I did not give this much thought when I started. I did it because it was infinitely easier than sitting down and doing voice recording. I'm not a huge fan of my voice. I think I have a terrible accent, and I don't think Nuclear Option Overanalyzed would exist today if it wasn't for this tool. With that said, getting better at anything requires practice, even something as simple as talking. So maybe in the future, if I find a place where I can record, I'll buy a decent microphone and I'll try doing like a separate series with my own voice. Content creators have used text-to-speech for ages, but with the state of the art and entertainment industry, and with how quickly this AI poison has infiltrated every single aspect of our lives, I have felt increasingly discouraged making this series. So I would like to hear your opinion. Is this something that bothers you? Do you instantly click off a video when you realize the narrator is a robot? Tell me in the comments.
Either way, as predicted by VeggieTales in the year 2003, in the future, entertainment will be randomly generated, so you may as well get used to it. The devs have been hard at work, producing content faster than I can make videos. The next Nuclear Option update is set to release
imminently.
Expect a video sometime in the next few days.